That's it.
That's a
Dork
banger. That's
fucking
a banger
John,
right there.
Dr. John Price. Yeah, that's our intro by Timothy Conley, the ukulele hero, available for cool and chill sounds in the Las Vegas area.
He's a
I
chill
am
guy.
sure that if you wanted him to play at your house, though, and you flew him out, he would do it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just pay him in ukuleles.
He would pay us an autographed ukuleles, and then we could
Hell yeah.
turn them on the black market.
That's what I call a trade deficit.
Oh,
But
anyway, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, here it is, Dork Trek, Dr. John Price, ready to tell us what he thinks
what do you want to talk about today? I mean,
about Star Trek.
there's not really that much Star Trek to talk about.
So
I
honestly,
mean,
this
there's like actual Star Trek to talk about, not like news. You know what I mean?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Star Trek or do you want to talk about actual news? Because this tachyon. Well, first of all, can I just tell you,
Mm.
Walker found this. It was
Ooh.
it's the J.J. Abrams
Mm.
communicator, and we leave it on the kitchen table and just do that as we walk by the two of us, and it drives Mimi crazy,
Nice.
especially because we do this. But whoever has it in their hand grabs the other one, and we just like spin around like it looks like we're dancing, but the two of us, we're falling without a chute, man. Beam us up.
That's right.
Anyway,
I like
so
it.
I brought it down so I could clip that out and show them.
It's good.
I'm sorry you're going to school, but it's high school and you've gotten into film school and you are wearing your Chapman University shirt today, Walker Young. So there you go.
Look, Walker Young, not all of us can be on paternity leave. Okay. All right.
How do you feel about that? Now you you were being a dad, so you deprived the audience of all of your trenchant insights about Star Trek for the last, well, it's about a
9 months
now, right?
Yeah.
So now tell the kids why you're able to speak to us from Subspace
Oh,
Radio.
why am I speaking today?
No, that you're able to, because even though it's the middle of Starfleet High School's spring
Oh
semester.
yeah. High school isn't over yet. No, it's only April. High school ends at the end of May, which is kind of crazy because when I went to high school 35 years ago, we ended at like the end of June. But we didn't
30 wait
start.
a second, 35 years ago you were in
Yeah,
high
yeah.
school?
It was at least 35 years ago. Um and
Okay.
we ended at the end of June. Like I distinctly remember like our
Yeah.
last day was like June 20 something, which was crazy. Just crazy. But we didn't start until I think we would have like the Thursday before Labor Day was like the first day of school, right? And then you
Yeah.
started, and then like we had that long Labor Day weekend, and then you went, right? But these kids today, they got it so good. Now, granted, we
Okay.
start in the middle of August, which kind of sucks. Sucks a lot. You got to be careful of what you're wearing. You know what I mean? Um, but but we get out like literally the Memorial Day weekend, the last weekend of May, whatever that is. Technically, the last day for teachers is that Monday, June 2nd, but nobody does that. That's not a thing.
Do the
Um,
teachers even go?
no. If you get all of your stuff turned in and done and everything, there's nothing to do. No. But yeah. So like department heads and like admins and stuff, they have to be there. But like regular teachers, if you get all your stuff done, you don't have to be there. It doesn't matter. But so yeah, I am on paternity leave because we had two little holy shit.
What's Gus doing now?
Pretty sure Gus is outside, so it's
Uh-oh.
probably just a ghost.
That's
Um,
gonna
but no, but we had our little girls in July, and you have a full year to use your paternity leave. So we came up with this brilliant plan of using it at the end of the year. So I get essentially 4 months off.
That's fantastic. I
Yeah,
think that you've completely gamed the system
yeah,
in a massively
yeah.
acceptable way.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty sure it was the science officer's idea, but I'll take credit.
Yeah, well, either way, what's best for the crew.
Yeah,
Please pass along the thanks of a grateful Starfleet to the science officer.
that's right.
Because,
Yeah.
she'll get some kind of, commendation for the XNR peace mission or something.
That's right. Right. Gold leaf clusters and all that.
The silver bronze. That's what
yes.
I read that in something once, and I was like, how to tell me you just did something with AI and didn't
right. The silver bronze.
You got the silver bronze, did you? Oh, that's cool.
That's
It's
right.
a corporal captain. They're experimenting with a new rank, right? The silver bronze. Anyway, I did a quick look on Star Trek news before I showed up, and there's a new show called Murderbot that starts May 16th or 18th or something like that on Apple TV. I don't know what it's about, but Apple TV, I love everything they do.
Oh yeah, they're crushing it.
We'll watch anything. So I don't have notifications on my phone because blow me, everyone. But I do have Apple TV application notifications because I want them to tell me shit that I can see on their cool premium streaming service that is not HBO. Yeah. So anyway, I saw Murderbot, and when I didn't click to Apple, I was like, well, let's go see what this is about, so I have context for what I'm about to read. And the first fucking thing was like, you can tell me, it's like Screen Rant, and it says new Apple TV show has cool new Star Trek connection, and I'm like, oh great.
Oh god.
And what is the Star Trek connection?
No god.
Yeah, no, John Cho's in it.
That's
cool, but like,
sure.
Really, is that the headline you want to go with? I don't know. Oh, it's Screen Rant. Okay,
it's just an actor.
And then some of the, well, I mean, it is tenuously a Star Trek connection.
I mean,
with the 800 hours of produced Star Trek television, it's fucking 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon if you're trying to look for a
That's like saying Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman has Star Trek connection. Like yeah, Terry Hatcher was in Star Trek.
I love that you're in Quinn Medicine Woman.
Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. That show was awesome. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but I didn't know Terry Farrell was in it.
Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher was in it?
Yeah, Terry Hatcher. Isn't she the main lady?
No, that's Jane Seymour. But
Jane Seymour?
Yeah.
Like, what's Terry Hatcher in?
Lois and Clark, right?
Oh yeah, Lois and Clark.
Desperate Housewives.
That's what she was in.
Dude, anyway. They had a promo poster of Lois and Clark. It was the hottest fucking thing I'd ever seen up until that time. It's this black and white poster of Dean Cain in a wife beater, but he's got a Superman, tattoo on his shoulder, and he's just kind of hugging Lois Lane, who's looking in the camera with her short little bobbed hair, and she's wearing a wife beater too. I bought that poster the second I saw it. Put it in a frame when that was like my drinking money for the week, right?
Nice.
And I had that thing for 25 years.
That's awesome.
I when we put the addition on our house, I'm like,
I just found it.
I guess it's time for this to go.
I just found it on the internet,
dude.
It's pretty awesome.
You have just picture that 3 foot by 2 foot in your college dorm, and
it's pretty great.
Yeah, nights weren't so lonely. So thank you. Terry Hatcher.
Dean Cain, he's a handsome fella. What can I say?
Yeah, back then, we all looked good, didn't we?
Yeah, it was the 90s. What are you gonna do? Pre 9/11.
Anyway, so yeah, that was one news thing. The other news thing I uncovered is some fucking, I don't know what they call it. Who are we shitting on now? Zoomers. I can't.
Yes.
I can't bring myself to do it because Walker's one and he's pretty chill, and his boys are pretty chill, but
you have a skewed perspective.
I do have a skewed perspective. I admit that. And some fucking chucklehead, roughly his age, wrote, I just discovered the horror episode of Deep Space Nine, and now I need a Star Trek slasher movie. And it's like, yeah, man, that's all the people running Star Trek right now probably agree with you, because that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
It's a really bad idea.
So that's what's going on for news. Let me see who this is. Cinema Blend. Yeah.
It's a really bad idea.
And then, dear God. So you saw the trailer, because I'm not done with how stupid that
Oh
trailer is
boy.
for Strategy.
Back to the trailer.
Strange New Worlds. Just, I want to comment on the fucking gaslighting perception of all the news, the Star Trek media about, hey man, look at this cool meta thing about Star Trek's hitting the swinging 60s again. And it's like, I don't know how they pitch that stuff with a straight face. Because if Star Trek's hitting the swinging 60s again, where's our fucking exact copy of everything like Neutral Zone Studios and the Ticonderoga thing that the Elvis impersonator? You can fucking do the swinging 60s again if you want, and please, but no, we'd rather have guys standing in a holodeck. Anyway, can I tell you, I went off to Walker about, I argued both sides of that holodeck thing in the same fucking vomit of conversation I was telling him about it. I was like, first of all, you could probably picture what I would say, because it's like, first of all, the holodeck, what the fuck? That's way before a holodeck exists. But on the other hand, what they're going to say to us, if anybody says that, is that there was a fucking holodeck in the cartoon, and the cartoon's all canon now. So welcome to Magics of Megas 2, and the fucking, Practical Joker one where Spock's getting fucking binocular eye black from, like, that's all canon now. So guess what? So's my fucking Exeter NX, whatever it is. I think it's, what did we figure? 12 it was going to be, but I just had 9 made. I don't know why. But anyway, that was pretty funny in our house, because Walker was like watching me have a Wimbledon match with myself. It's like, no holodeck, but this is what they're going to say. And I guess that's fine, but really it's not. It was pretty funny. It was like, my mother, my sister, my mother, my sister. Anyway, 9 in the morning apparently is bad for me. I better have water instead of coffee.
Yeah. The holodeck is dumb.
That's a okay. Good night, everybody. The holodeck's dumb.
See ya. No, it's the holodeck in Strange New Worlds is dumb, because what the fuck, dude? Like, you're just gonna do TNG episodes now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why that swinging 60s things bothers me, because it's no, nobody's walking around like that. That's not a thing that they have to fight with. It's just hey, look, something's wrong with the holodeck again. I hope.
And I swear to God, if any of the characters goes, yeah, studying mid 20th century American pop culture is my thing. That's like my hobby. Like fucking, they had Tom Paris do. Tom Paris was like, oh yeah, my hobby is muscle cars from the 1920s. I'm like, oh really? That's your fucking hobby? That's a stupid fucking hobby, dude.
So, because of Rick Austin, I have Pluto Star Trek on when I can't think of anything to do, or I'm just bustling the kitchen and shit. And so yesterday I was watching an early one. I wasn't watching, it was on. But as I'm walking by, we'll probably remember which one this is, but I thought it was really cool. And like in fucking 15 seconds, they show and why the old show is so much better than the new show, because Sulu, it was Naked Time. And so Sulu is talking about fencing. So when he does the big D'Artagnan reveal later, it doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
But some character is going, oh yeah, I was hanging out with Sulu and he's into fencing now. That's cool. What is it? Some kind of pirate thing? Like last week you were into botany, and the week before you were in that. And it was like, yeah, because he was doing that botany thing and Corbomite maneuver or whatever. They had like a mild bit of continuity just because the same people were working on this show. But they have this thing where, okay, it's going to be cool to have shirtless Sulu coming in like a Three Musketeer, but we have to set it up that that's a thing that he likes, and we'll present it like we don't have to pay attention to these characters because Sulu's the guy that just does whatever we need for that episode. That's his hobby now, right? And so you can tell that they sort of saw that but didn't process what that meant, right? That's just not how you do references for your characters. That was a specific thing for Sulu, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just walking by, fucking cleaning the bacon fat off the grill, right? Like
bacon.
I don't get what those guys who are professional writers don't understand what
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they Professor
What's
Writers?
Sagasag? Oh, of course. The San Francisco 49ers have a Star Trek connection.
Well, yeah, we got those 49ers hats, 49ers Star Trek hats.
Well, that was that was the Giants.
Oh, whatever.
But this
San
is it.
Francisco, right?
This is it, though. Terry Hatcher was a cheerleader for the Niners.
Oh, look at that.
See, Chris is great because you would think that he was going to say something about, you know, Monterey Bay or the San Francisco, one of the whales thing that somehow the Niners were, you know, there was a giant, the NFL shop was actually down by where they shot the scene with the Nichelle Nichols and Walter Uncle Wally. Where's you know, that Alameda thing? Oh, I think it's in Alameda.
Yeah.
That's what we said, Alameda. That's kind of right. Not at the time, but right now there's an NFL shop there. So that is the tenuous time travel connection. Oh no, it's Terry Hatcher. She was one of the
cheerleaders. What else was Terry Hatcher in?
Well, she was one of the.
I could have sworn she was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
That's Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
Who's
Jane Seymour then?
Let's see. How would you know Jane Seymour? Her first movie was as 17-year-old. What's her name in Live and Let Die? She's the. That's why Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. You were like 8, man, when that came out. So Terry Hatcher was probably she was probably a cheerleader when
Seymour.
Seymour. Jane Seymour.
That's Jane Seymour. Okay.
She's known at our house now for like the 108-year-old woman that looks like she's about 55, and she's pitching like good makeup stuff. So I was like, hey, if you want I love those ads because the implication is like, hey man, buy this tub of white, you know, jelly, rub it on your face, and you look like Jane Seymour. It's like,
yeah,
no, you won't.
She was born in 1508.
She was born in 1508.
Her spouse was Henry VIII.
Yeah,
she's the mother of Edward VI. That's interesting.
I love that episode.
That's interesting.
Star Trek.
Edward VI, famously known as the little bitch. Interesting. You know, all the kings named Edwards were bad. They were all bad.
Oh my God. So 5 days ago, Game Rant, in a story by James Dorman, under the headline, "Is this popular Star Trek showrunner done with a franchise?"
Yay!
Guess who they're talking about?
Oh God, not Kurtzman.
Terry Matalas.
Oh, fuck off!
Fuck off! That's like, I don't know if you followed this, but like, I don't know, a month ago, I maybe it was longer because it was at the end of November, but a couple of years ago, on the end of November, that's when the whole Picard season 3 thing was going out, and Terry Matalas was shitting on fans and stuff like that. And I'd written a big long thing, hundreds of people did it, and it came back up. And so I love doing this. I just bumped it, did the old, you know, everybody's like, start a new thread. And I'm like, I don't want to start a new thread. This is the context that we have for all the other stuff. And I'm sorry for people who go, oh, I didn't check the date. I'm like, I'm sorry, but now that you know this, there's context, and now here's what we're talking about now. Isn't it interesting that this thing from last year is still a powerful going concern now? But two things happened. Michael Kuda shows up and goes, hey, you know, don't be so mean to my friends.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
Who appointed you the guy who says everything? And I'm like, hey, Mike, there's literally no difference from guys shouting from the stands to manage a baseball game and tell the manager like you're using the wrong pitcher than what we're doing talking about Star Trek. Like, you know, that's what Terry Matalas gets for being a shitty third base coach. Yeah. Right. And then Robert Meyer Burnett shows up and he's like,
oh boy,
who made you kick? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, I don't know what's with the aggro thing, but here's all the context and here's what we're saying. And Terry, because he shows up going, well, Matalas is at MCU, so he must know what he's doing. And it's like, okay, I didn't say anything. I just say he's shitty doing Star Trek. and he needs to
Oh,
shut up
boy.
about that Star Trek legacy, because
Yeah, but Larry, they
that
all
shit is
love,
what's killing Star Trek.
but they all love what he did. They all love it.
But they're all wrong.
Well,
Nobody
I
in
know.
the
I'm just
audience
saying.
loved what they did, except for people who don't know the difference, right?
Well, I think a lot of it is in comparison to Picard 1 and 2, it's infinitely better.
Well,
But
yeah, but so
so
what?
it's a lot of like Stockholm syndrome going on there. It's like, oh wow, he didn't beat me today, you know.
But it's, you can't say, hey, this shit sandwich is better than yesterday's shit sandwich, because like
I know. I look. I'm just saying.
I
Okay.
just think and obviously I'm not attacking your argument, but rather the knee-jerk reaction of the kids who do that, right?
Right.
It's like, well, it wasn't so bad, and like that's what I wanted. And I'm like, okay, that's what everybody wanted. Why wasn't it 15 years ago? Right? And given the fact that it's not 15 years ago, and that's what they're doing now, a show called Picard, how is that not season 1? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? And there's all, we
Well,
all
they didn't
know,
want it to be season 1,
right?
of
We all
course.
know the reasons
We all
why,
know
and
the reasons why.
it's that's why season 3 of Picard is actually more insulting to me. It's like,
That's funny.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you give us what we wanted in the most half-assed way possible, and expect to be congratulated for it. The horse has left the barn, man. Like, you need to just wipe it over and give Star Trek a rest of a couple years, but take those couple years to work on what you want to do for the next bit, and then just, or conversely, give it to us. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do a cartoon about the cascading through time, fixing all the fucking continuity
Hell yeah.
and stuff like. Anyway, whatever.
Time police.
Chris Sagasag, of course, comes through. Jane Seymour was Solitaire in Live and Let Die. She was like 17, but this is the good one. She was Serena in the original Battlestar Galactica. Did you ever watch those? That was like kind of a draw to teenage boys, that Apollo's. It was Richard Hatch's love interest was Jane Seymour, and she's Boxy's mom, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's why she gets
Oh
killed, and
yeah.
he's
That's
stuck with
definitely a
Boxy.
draw to teenage boys. Who
Well,
was
at
the
the
other one?
time,
Sheba. Sheba was a good one.
we named our cat Sheba after that actress.
That's
That
funny.
was Anne Lockhart. Yeah, I was a big Battlestar Galactica guy.
I love Battlestar Galactica.
Well, I'm gonna reach up and show you something. I don't really.
I didn't particularly like everything else, but Battlestar Galactica, the original one, was pretty cool. Like Battlestar Galactica, what was it, like 1980 or whatever, and they just like pop into Hollywood in 1980. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Put this on. Okay. What'd you say?
I said that's pretty cool.
This is a casting of one of the originals. Fucking
Yeah.
super fiberglass.
That's cool.
I kind of don't want to paint it and put lights.
I was gonna say.
I kind of just like kick it around. Someday I probably will. I don't know. Anyway,
You never know.
I love that old Battlestar Galactica, but not enough to buy that $600 factory entertainment thing that I've been looking at for 3 years at San Diego. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Fucking Jane Seymour. She was hot, dude. Look at that.
Well, yeah, back in the day. And now she's 108 and looks kind of the same. Anyway, thank you, Chris Sagasag. I think Chris is at work, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty hilarious.
That he's got us on.
He's just like, whatever.
He's falling without a chute. That's another good one. Spock, as you know, the logical Vulcan, always freaking out.
Yeah, that's one of the worst parts of those movies. I mean, there's so many bad parts of those movies, but one of the worst part is that every single movie Spock freaks out.
Like, Walker and I were kind of talking about that on the way to school about Batman. We saw some press where Brendan Sklar from Yellowstone 1923 or 4, whatever year they're on. He's like this cool rugged guy cut in the cloth of, Ron Eli, probably, I would say. He's a square jawed lump of a guy who can act pretty well, but he's at the beginning of his career. But because the nerd thing is not at the beginning. It is at the twilight of its thing. Of course, everybody who gets any kind of attention of any kind of nerd audience ever, they immediately go, he needs to play Batman. The Batman in the DCU. Get it, James Gunn, get him to play Batman. And it's like, I guess, square jaw guy, everybody looks like Batman in the Batman suit. But they did this press together, Brendan Sklar and Alan Richmond, and they're both going, yeah, isn't that great? Like, the two of us are flavor of the month, and everybody wants us to be Batman. And they're like, Alan Richmond's like, I'll be Batman. I'll be Batman right now. And the other guy's like, yeah, I'll be Batman. Like, we're actors. We want to act, and Batman's a great character. Let's go. And that's like what fans don't get, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, whoever you want would be great, right? But it's not that. It's like the best available actor who's got space in his schedule, who will do it for the money you have in your budget. Like, there's so much shit that goes on to it. You can't just snap your fingers and go, oh, let's have that guy be Batman. And so it's the same thing with Spock, right?
Yeah.
You can't just throw anybody in there and go, there's Spock. And poor Zachary Quino, I personally think he's great. I love all this stuff that you don't like because I'm used to the comic book multiverse thing.
Oh yeah,
right? That's just the world where Spock does that. And the thing about Zachary Quinto that really fucking makes me go, that's not Spock, is his earlobes.
Interesting.
Because he has, and it's for me. Like, let me show you. See, my earlobes like come down. They do that attached earlobe thing, right?
Okay.
Leonard Nimoy does not. Like, me and Zachary Quinto have the same kind of earlobe, and so having the point up top, and then the slide of your earlobe just goes on the same line into your jaw. It doesn't look like Spock. It doesn't look right.
Interesting.
But he does a great job. He's fine. He's slaying it on the show now. It's like, I have to clear my mind of the initial Discovery things and how his introduction was just ass.
Terrible.
So I'm just like, all right, that was the version, the Spock Elseworlds, where all that dumb shit happened and their uniforms were idiotic. And
is Discovery over?
Yes, thank
God.
God. Yeah, it's been over for like 2 years, which is great.
That's just great.
You've had some stuff going on in your life.
I've been out of it, dude. I've been chugging through these Daredevils. I fucking love Daredevil, dude.
We're up to date, except for last night's. We watched 1923 instead.
Yeah. But, I guess the episode it only says 8 episodes, so I guess the one I just watched was the last episode.
Yeah. Oh, of Daredevil. Yeah. That was the season finale. I like Sagasag just wrote, "Yikes." I mean, and I was like, shut it down. I don't want to know. Walker will kill me if I know what happened.
I mean, yikes is right. Yikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I fucking love that shit, man. Give me Charlie Cox universe forever.
Yeah, I agree. Here, Chris is throwing out old school Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, he's just naming those ladies.
That was my girl.
Okay.
That dark hair and blue eyes, and turning around going, yeah, hailing frequencies open, Captain. And I'm like, all right, I'm good, thank you. She was I don't know, was she there was a bit where they did Colonial Warriors were all women, and I was like, well, they cast well for that. They did a all girls pilot squadron, and I was like,
nice.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
I've always been a fan of blondes.
On TV or just in general?
Just in general. Just blondes. Anyway, that's it. That's all I just liked Irish Catholic bartenders who brought me liquor. That that's a good.
You were a hot girl putting booze in front of me. I was fine.
That's a good demographic. Yeah. I haven't always dated blondes, but just in general, if you were like, oh, A or B, I would always pick, A. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's a weird thing.
I too.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Back in the day, my friends used to say if one of Larry's girlfriends killed somebody, all the other ones would be in the lineup. But then I met Mimi, and I was like, oh, that's right. Let's get serious. Let's have a kid. Live happily ever after.
Serious.
Yeah.
Time to get serious. Oh! I probably shouldn't say anything. I'll tell you all. No, it's a
That's the
family
best
thing.
time, best kind of dork trek. Oh, I've got a great idea. Oh, I better not say it.
No, it's a family thing that I probably shouldn't say in case on the off chance that anyone in the world is watching.
I always think it's funny when you say something. Oh, she's not watching. This is okay. I'm like, oh no.
She's not watching. She definitely doesn't watch. So
Well, why? Mimi doesn't either. Why would she?
she did, however, encourage me to do this. She's like, "You're doing
Oh, that's
Star Trek
awesome.
tomorrow, right?" And I'm like,
Aw,
am I? You
yeah.
tell me.
If
And she's like, "Yeah, I think it's important that you do things that you enjoy." I'm like, "I think it's important too."
well,
What's
that's
going on
fantastic.
here?
That's
What
fantastic.
am I being set up for?
No, that's awesome. Maybe we'll prefer it. Everybody, all the John Price fans in the audience are like very happy that she has come around to our side. That yes,
Well,
it
she
is
knows that
important that
like
you tell us what you think of Star Trek.
she knows that like being a house husband is not natural to me. So like it's a lot of work for me to like yeah, I don't mind doing the dishes. I don't mind doing things, you know what I mean? But like it's work. Like, it's not something that like I wake up and I start thinking. I don't think about that stuff, you know. So she's like, "Yeah, you should, do other stuff." And so that's kind of I think it's her sort of psychological sort of like, "Hey,
Well, that's fantastic. Everybody needs a little outlet
yeah,
for their stresses,
yeah,
man. And I it's a
yeah,
fucking joy talking to you about crap because Star Trek crap because I don't have to explain like why are
yeah."
you getting mad about this idiot, piece of thread being out of place, Larry? It's like, oh, well, I can talk to the Star Trek guys like John Price and Sagasag and even Hector.
I
It's
will
like, oh, they
say,
get it.
this is the first week of Daddy Daycare, and we're already into season 3 of the original series. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
he just put it on in the background and just let it go.
Dude, you're gonna love it. I don't know. Daddy daycare it's probably gonna be challenging with two of them, but
It's yeah,
I used to love that when it was my turn to like, hey, or we're just gonna go walk to the zoo now and back.
yeah,
And I'm gonna listen to Bill Burr on his podcast because
yeah,
Nancy Sen has just told me about podcasts.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the weather getting better. It's sunny out right now, but it's like 30 degrees, which I'm really not a fan of.
Ugh.
And like all weekend it rained, and I'm just like, so I'm a spring person, I don't know if anybody out in the internet land is a spring person, but as a spring person, it's like I need that energy, I need that sun nourishment,
Yeah.
and
The yellow
right now
sun
I don't have
powers
it.
you like
Yeah.
Superman.
Right, like Voltron.
Check out Sagasag, one more Daredevil next week, and then
Okay,
Andor. Where would we be without Chris, TV
dude,
guide?
seriously, he is my TV guide. I mean, this is yeah,
Yes, Chris. I don't know if you watched me make fun of Randall and Duel yesterday, but at one point, you had said something so cool. I was like, "Yeah, Chris is just so on point with that one. I'm going to say his name correctly." I think that was the first time I ever said Chris Seguiseg.
is that
Because
how you say it?
that's how I was instructed. At least close enough for my, you know, course in elocution. And
Chris, I need a
it's
phonetic
it's
explanation
Gui in
here.
the middle. Seguisig. And
Seguisig.
and I always say sig instead of sag, but I don't know if that's true, but
Seguisig?
I just
Is
kind
that
of
it?
mumble that last syllable because I say sag so much that like sag is kind of a comedy syllable now. So
See, I thought it was like sag, like a short I, like seguisig. I don't know.
he's probably actually doing something at his job this specific instant because usually he would write something. And so I'll just tell us this story until he gets annoyed. Yeah, we have a mutual pal named Wendy, which I met through him. Wendy Lee, she lives around here, but I met her down in San Diego, and she's super into Star Trek. And so I turned to Walker when she introduced herself, and I was like, "Hey, oh my God, this is Sagasag's friend from the internet. I'm so happy to see her." She's like, "Oh yeah, right on." Except she went, "Well, that's not how you pronounce it. It's Chris Seguisig." And then Mark and Steve came over, like, if he pronounced it that way, no one who would know who he was talking about.
That's right.
Like we just call him Sagasag, and
Sagazag.
he was like, "Yeah, oh, okay, that's cool." It was so cute. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're saying it wrong." I'm like, no, we're not. It's anyway,
Colonialism. Wait, what? Oh boy.
it's just it shows you how the audience will take over something and make it theirs.
That's right.
Doesn't matter
That's
what the IP
right.
holders say, right?
It reminds me of Star Trek.
So anyway, yes, is Mattel is swapping Star Trek for the MCU? I'm like,
Who gives a shit?
I hope not. but you know, when I was telling Walker about this, he goes, you know, he didn't ruin Justified for us, and I'm like, yeah, but I think I didn't tell him this, but I was like, I watched Justified already before I knew who he was.
Yeah.
So, and Blast too. He was, you know, that's probably how they got to be pals. Blast was
fuck that guy.
Director.
Yeah.
You know.
So Terry Matalas, I love the show Terra Nova.
Okay.
You might classify it as like a guilty pleasure show, but I don't consider it a guilty pleasure. I just think it's awesome. And it's like it's a very Star Trek format, but it's like they go back in time and they have to set up a colony back when dinosaurs are around. And it's Terra Nova. Sagisug.
So clearly, future generations will be saying Sagasag because that's the
Sagisug. Chris Sagisug.
Sagisug.
Is that it?
Chris Sagisug. Okay.
Sagasag. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at this.
I just hope he's not cross with us because I
don't be mad.
I think that's it's a cool nickname, man.
Yeah, Sagasag. It's a cool name.
Internet nickname.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Terry Matalas worked on Terra Nova.
That was a Spielberg show, though, right?
Was Spielberg? I don't know. I mean, if he did, it was fucking.
Yeah, man. It was money. Like 1 or 2 seasons.
It was only 1 season.
Terra Nova,
I think it's 1 season. But you would recognize the main guy. The main guy was in Marvel.
Yeah. I totally know that. It's Jason O'Mara.
Yeah, that's the guy's name.
Yeah, that show was great. I love.
Yeah, that show's awesome.
So Matalas worked on
the girl in it. I had the biggest crush on the girl in it, and she looked. This is again, science officer doesn't watch these. The girl in it. Oh God, what was her name? What is her name? Hold on.
What, the doctor or?
Well, okay, 2 things. Naomi Scott. Is awesome. Yeah. I have a huge crush
that show was great. I love that show.
Naomi Scott is awesome. She is in the Power Rangers movie, which is great. And then there's also, what is her name? Allison Miller, which is like the most boring name ever for an actress. Allison Miller. She's also in oh God, what is the show's name? I forget the show's name, but anyway, okay. Anyway, so I was going to a chiropractor, and she looks exactly like the receptionist at the chiropractor, except like a not Hollywood version of this person, right? Yeah. And like literally, they look like the face structure is exactly the same, like the hair is the same, and I'm just like, this is great. I love going to chiropractor.
So then there's no end to that story, right?
Well, the end to that story is I don't go to that chiropractor anymore.
That's right. Oh, I've been asked not to. Yeah, I've been trespassed. Anyway,
Kings is the name of the show. That show was awesome.
Oh, the alternate universe thing with the flags and all that. What's his name from Deadwood was the king?
Yes. Yeah. He plays like King David.
Yeah, that show was
like
great.
Set in like modern technology and stuff. That show was awesome. I love that show.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds cool. You were a teenager when these were out, though.
Yeah. Well, I watched all these like college, post-college, that time period.
What I mean is, it's like I'm just trying to place it for you. Like in my head, it's all like Manimal and
sure,
Automan. These dumb shows that it's cool because it hits you right because of the age you are.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan is in that. Wes Studi is in there. He plays a general.
Terra
Yeah.
Nova, though, man, Rene Arsa, that guy from Next Gen, and Brandon Braga, they all worked on it too. So that's
Yes.
why
Yeah, that's
that's why
right.
it's got that Star Trek feel.
Yeah. Oh, and Allison Miller, that girl, she grew up in State College, Pennsylvania, which,
Well,
as we all know, Penn State. I mean, come on. That's
I know, but you don't get about the West Coast. Just you talking about Pennsylvania is like talking about Madagascar. Yeah,
well,
it's like I heard there's weird trees over there, and like
there are weird
there's
trees,
only two
and there's a lot
cities,
of
like
pollen.
one on each side of the state. It's
That's
crazy.
right. That's right. That's correct. This is all correct. Yeah. It's a giant rectangle with mountains in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Lake Erie on top.
And Lake Erie. That's where Nancy Sen's from.
I
Lake Erie.
know. That's why I was
She
like,
was
there's only
born
two
of the
cities.
river. Like
Anyway.
the goddess Athena herself, she cracked open out of Zeus's skull and washed upon shore. One of my girls is an absolute ham. She loves the camera.
Alice.
Every single picture of her is just the funniest picture you've ever seen. And
It's
like,
Alice, right? Alice is
oh
the
yeah, it's
vampire.
definitely
Yeah.
Alice. Oh yeah,
And
it's Alice.
you know how I remember somebody else's kids so well? Because I've associated comic book characters with your two children.
That's
And,
fantastic.
and so someday I'll get some artist to draw it,
That's
and
awesome.
those two characters next to each other, and I'll just write Alice and Leandro.
That's awesome. But I want Nancy to be her mentor to get her into stand-up comedy,
Oh,
because
nice.
this girl's gonna be stand-up I haven't told Nancy this, but
She'll do it.
she'll definitely do it,
Yeah.
right? But this girl's gonna be a stand-up whether she knows it or not. She's
Dude,
already a stand-up.
can you imagine the
She's
pitch
8 months old.
the pitch to Nancy is going to be less than 10 words. It's like,
Mhm.
would you please mentor my child into you
Yeah.
being a professional comedian as you are, Nancy? And she'd be like,
Yeah.
before you were done, she'd be like
Yeah.
signing the adoption papers.
Legal guardian, Nancy Sen.
So why is she so funny? Just
I don't know. She just is.
No, but I mean, what are
Oh.
some examples of her being hilarious?
Oh, like we have these little I hate these things, but these little like it's like a sticky like a suction cup thing, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they play with them. They're not meant for little babies. They're meant for bigger babies. But anyway, I've lost this battle. But so they love playing with them and like chewing on them. They feel
Yeah.
good chewing
I
on
wouldn't
them,
like
right?
that either.
Right. And yeah, no kidding. And like one day Alice just turns around and like first of all, she's got this big stupid grin that I can't even replicate because she doesn't have any teeth, right? So she's got this big stupid grin
Yeah, baby
and like
smile. Yeah.
these giant, these giant cheeks, and she's just got the fucking thing in her mouth, but it's like a L shaped thing. It's like
Okay.
a ball in the middle and two suction cups, like in an L shape, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And she's got it in her mouth like this, and she's got a big stupid grin, and it's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen.
And
And
she's
she's
probably,
just standing there like looking at you. She's got
yeah,
these
like,
big blue eyes, and she's like, ah, look at me.
so
She loves bouncing.
get used to that. Another 18
Yeah.
years when they go off to college, you'll be crying. And
Oh, I'm already crying. I'm like, remember when you were this big and I could hold you and love
oh,
you? And this morning they just wouldn't stop crying. So I'm like, yeah, goodbye. Go to your grandparents. Get out of here. Daddy needs alone time with Gus.
and Star Trek.
And Star Trek. That's right. Yeah.
Anyway. Well,
Yeah. Leah
anyway, that's
Leah
good.
is much more meticulous. Leah's the scientist. She's the one, she'll take a bottle, and she'll like, instead of drinking her bottle, she'll like look at it and she'll be like, what's in this bottle? You know, like it's weird. It's weird. She's much more moody. She's definitely my kid. So
That's cool. I mean, from our
yeah.
experience, because we just had one, it's really
Mhm.
interesting to see in Walker's personality, the stuff that's similar to me, and then the stuff that's similar to Mimi in one person. But that sounds like you have two. There's one is like favors your personality, and the other one favors like maybe science officer's personality. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's a combination of both.
Well, of course, like
And
genetics is
it's
a
but
thing.
there's two of them. It's just weird. It's a weird situation. And we always talk about how like it would be so much easier with just one. And then you have to stop yourself because I'm like, okay, well, two is all we know.
Right,
It's not
exactly.
like we're gonna get rid of one of them. Like,
Right. Just so you know, every parent does that. Like, what
yeah,
if? Imagine how different our lives would be if the situation was mildly different, right?
right.
And that lasts about 7 seconds
Yeah.
because your situation isn't different,
No.
and now like they're gargling razor blades, and you have to go deal with that.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's just
Wait, but-
Gus.
That's right. That's just the boy. So yeah, it's an interesting time, man. It's an interesting time, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm glad you're sharing it with us, man, and we can talk about Star Trek.
I mean, there's nothing,
I meant sharing this time of your life where obviously you have more important
Oh.
things to do than fucking shit around on the internet talking to us.
I do not.
Trying to figure out how to pronounce.
So I've been trying to come up with it because I got 4 months off, right?
Uh-huh.
So I've been trying to come up with a list of like things to do. I don't know if you can see, I got,
yes,
but right now there's nothing on my list. So I got a whole lot of things to do, and I just don't want to do them.
Can you do some of mine? I'm trying to finish this book by this fucker named John Price about some Star Trek bullshit.
No, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
All right. Think 2 seconds about what you want to call this, because in my computer.
Do you want like a conclusion? Like, hey, now that Discovery's over, this is what I think, sort of thing.
Well, it's presented I was just gonna say, in my computer, it's just called John versus Star Trek.
Oh,
so
that works.
I think that contextually doesn't have you have to wind it up. But if you want to, yes, please. But
Sure.
Second, I was thinking myself, you don't have to answer right this second, but just think about this. What do you think about putting your award-winning Axonar piece in the back? Does that throw off your real-world folklore stuff? For like, do other people have? Because then we get to, instead of like John versus Star Trek, then we get to say, fucking award-winning Star Trek expert Dr. John E. Price, PhD, drops his giant Star Trek phallus in your face.
Yeah,
and
works.
Tell him no. And
that
but
works for me.
All right, how long is that? Do you know?
Like the roughly? Actual paper?
Yeah, it's like 50,000 words or something.
It's probably like 20 pages or something.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect for like just put it on the back. Like here's.
I don't remember.
Or even in the front. I don't know.
I don't remember. Maybe in the middle. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That certainly is an option.
I don't remember. Is this computer hooked up to Dropbox? No, I don't know. But this is a new laptop. This is a new laptop, right? So it's not fully.
What is it? April 9th? It's not an emergency yet. But if it was May 9th, I'd be like, send that to me via WeTransfer right this second.
It's already April? Jesus.
Yeah.
It's because it rained all weekend, man. I fucking hate the rain. I hate the rain so much.
Put on some fucking, Lilith Fair soundtrack.
We did need the rain because of the pollen. The pollen was really bad. I don't know if you guys get pollen out there on the West Coast.
I stopped wearing contacts because of the pollen in my house.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, it was really bad this year. It was like every morning I soaked off the car, like both cars, because they were just fucking covered with
what kind of trees?
I have no idea. No clue. No clue where it comes from.
We have these trees called Monterey pines, and it just looks like you just sprinkled yellow flour all over everything.
Yeah, it's like
insane.
Neon, fucking
I would
if
wake
you were to
up,
do like powder Gatorade.
I would wake up and it would be like taking big chunks of Captain Crunch out of my eyes.
Nice.
Gross shit ever.
Nice.
Anyway.
That's what I call a mutiny.
Soggy sug.
Soggy sug. There you go.
What's so funny is like there's no reason. Like I if I was Chris, if I was in a bad mood someday, I would actually feel targeted by my friends. Like, why don't
Yeah.
they fucking say my name right? And they're always laughing about it. And it's more like the random joy that that gives me. That
Well,
well,
it's
it's
just a
just the way I
nickname,
met
you know.
Chris is he kept showing up in my Facebook, and the guy lives down the fucking street from me. It's just like the most random thing ever. And I don't know if you know David Corby. He shows up on some of my Star Trek stuff. He's like he's like friends with Cooley. He's plugged into all this Star Trek shit. He literally lives next to the guy who has the cheese dick Batman thing that I'm always taking my picture in front of. Like fucking like literally 4 blocks away from me. It's insane. So it just gives me joy that like this guy that I have no business knowing lives in my in less than 2 miles from my house, and we have the same kind of Star Trek shirts and love for sci-fi stuff. I don't know. I just
Aw.
so yeah. So I mean it with nothing but love.
No, Chris is a good guy.
Yeah. Nice Avenger cap. I know. See, is it the Avenger? Is the '09 the Avenger? I don't know. I just this is the
It
one I was.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. The so thank you, Tony. You remember this is I think this is it, right? This is my Exeter patch. And then I did all those, I have all those workout shirts with different ship names. So the idea is the hat's the same. Like Captain Non-Canonical was associated there once or won it in a poker game with Captain whatever from that ship. I can't keep all this stuff straight. It's backstory.
You should write a book.
Mimi, yeah. Mimi had somebody was over in San Francisco yesterday that she works with at MetLife or some I don't know. She networks like a crazy woman, and so of course somebody gets a little tour of the house, and they're all like, "Yeah, okay." There's all these spaceships, and this is nuts. They liked all the helmets that Walker and I made during the lockdown thing.
Nice.
We yeah. Anyway, the one thing she just went insane. I have this like those little cases where you're supposed to keep watches. I got this case
Yeah.
because Patton Oswalt's character in Shield kept all his lanyards in that, so
Okay.
I got one for my lanyards, and then I started getting all those communicators, next gen stuff, and all the insignias and crap. Like this is actually a good thing for those. That filled up instantly because I'm so crazy with those, and so that's just there out because of this, right? Like once a week, I will put on a thing. And I'm like, oh, I need the science officer thing with the Vulcan thing, right? There's probably like 15 or 20 things in there. Stuff Dave Porter, God rest his soul,
Yeah.
Power Man, stuff
R.I.P. buddy.
stuff he had made me, and her coworker just stopped dead at that and just was like they were like baubles from. She's like, oh yeah, oh wait, that's some Future Imperfect. I'm like, Star Trek fan, and she's like,
Nice.
what?
Nerd.
And she's like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's a company called Fansets that does some decent ones." And she goes, "There's a lot here," and I'm like, "No, there's not a lot there. Don't." My wife is standing right next to you. There's like $300 worth of those things just sitting in a box.
Like,
Mimi would not
be
like to
cool,
hear
man. Be
that.
cool. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's always funny what people will see in the magic closet down here and react to.
I told my wife one time, I'm packing up all the stuff, out of the office, RIP. And I'm like, look, if anything ever happens to me, you sell everything in this box. And she's like, we could just sell it now. And I'm like, that's not what I said. That's not what I said, woman. It's not what I said.
I have some stuff. I started doing the old man thing of writing down like on a post-it note.
Nice.
And I was like, if something happens to me, don't sell everything. Don't just get an estate thing. Fucking have Mark and Steve come over here first.
Right.
And make 2 piles because they know what all this stuff
They
is.
know what's going on.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
So that's our emergency thing if a bus hits me or something.
Sig.
I think Steve yeah, I know. Avenger Registry NX09. Yeah, I know.
Doesn't matter, Bjorn. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is an alternate universe.
So what happened
Okay.
is when we made these shirts, I was trying to figure out where the extra would show up in the list. And I think you
We
figured
did a
it out.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you figured it out for me.
yeah.
And I
I
think
forget
it
what it
was
was.
I think it was 11. I think it was 11, NX
Hold
11.
on. Let's take a look.
But I was like,
'Cause
I
Big
could
Show is in on that too. Big Show wanted his.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I forgot what his was.
So I had one made by the lady that makes my one-off patches, and she just does her best, which
Right.
is cool if I'm trying to dope something from
There we
Kong
go.
Island. But so this was an official one that some Trekkie made, and I'm like, I don't care what number it is, just give me the good one to fit on the proper hat. Anyway,
Yeah, so we came up with 12. Oh, I can't post it in the
12.
chat. Join the chat. Why can't I join the chat?
Well,
Nice.
here.
Hold on. I'm joining the chat.
You
Oh,
can't
for
do
God's
it.
sakes. Just
See?
do it. Just do it.
See? I did that. So first of all, this is canon, and so is John Price.
Nice.
That made me
Nice.
really happy. Anyway,
I like that.
so there, yeah, I can do that. So you don't have those, or you're just in as a guest, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't have the yeah.
So yeah,
There,
so we came up with there was a gap with 12. NX 12. So that's where
there
we
you
put
go.
yours.
There, that's just as good. So yeah, Avengers on X10.
So oh no, we switched them around. Excalibur was 12, Exeter is 10.
Yeah, except I guess Avengers 10, right? Who knows? Whatever.
So Yamato is, and I think Kitty Hawk was 19.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anywho,
yeah, we're from the world where it's something different.
we're from the actual.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Multiverse. That's right.
616.
That's right.
We're from Starfleet, whatever. That's why I like the patch on the other side. Did you get this patch too? The Starfleet Academy United Earth Space Force one?
That's right.
Oh,
USPA.
dude. That I love that. Oh dang. Where are those? Oh, here it is. So one of my buddies in the 3D community designed this.
What
This
community?
is it's a USPA halfway between the cage and the regular phaser.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? It's got look at
That's pretty awesome.
It's got the same trigger, I don't know. He did communicators and tricorders too. I haven't printed those out yet. But yeah, man, I want to put a clip on this and put it on a white US Army web belt.
I like it.
Anyway, I for some reason I think that if they want to do Star Trek prequels, and because they don't want to mess with canon, because we don't want to hear the Star Trek.
I'm so sick of prequels.
I know, but just do a United Earth Space Force show, and
that'd be awesome.
Don't even call it Star Trek, right?
No,
United Earth Space Force, and if you know, then you know, and then, dude, I'm so close to doing one of those Beagle patches from the end of Lower Decks. Do you see I got a just sweet piece of art, and I'm like, I can't put Beagle on the side because that's dumb. I'm sorry, Darwin, the name of your ship was stupid, but I'm like, I can't put Exeter. I don't want to put Kitty Hawk because that's your ship, but that's a great name for a ship, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because right from first to last, like the one that started it all to the current technological marvel, that's amazing. I don't understand why there wasn't a space shuttle called the Kitty Hawk.
I don't understand why there weren't fucking 30 space shuttles. So that's a whole other discussion.
That's what For All Mankind is for.
That's why I need For All Mankind back. So
November coming in.
What I need For All Mankind is a fucking technical manual or something that give me the name of all the shuttles, the name of all the astronauts. That's what my brain needs. Okay, my brain needs that. Okay, my brain doesn't need.
All I have to say is, in those ship mission patches that we got, There's
Yeah,
a Young, there's a Walker, and there's a Price.
I know.
So,
Who is this
so,
Price guy?
so list me all those guys,
Yeah,
and
like
yeah.
clearly you have notes, right? Like Ron Moore has the notes somewhere. Like he just needs to like you know
He
nerds will
needs to
buy
let
it.
us have them.
Yeah, give me the goddamn notes, dude. I like this one. I like this patch. Where is it? No, it's on the other side. Uh where it's Starfleet Academy, but it's Washington D.C.
Oh,
because I went
nice.
to school in D.C.
That
So it's like WDC campus.
that's amazing. I didn't know they even
Yeah,
made those. What a great
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Of course, Starfleet Academy has different
I mean, of
spots.
course, there's multiple camp. I mean, there's
Right. It's not just San Francisco.
no.
That's awesome. So was that the Capitol building on it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
Capitol building, the
Yeah.
Washington Monuments,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the Lincoln guy.
Or did you just find that on eBay or something?
It's just Etsy.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, some guy on Etsy, and there's other ones. It's like New York City, DC, not San Diego though. R.I.P.
They should do one for San Francisco. I just like that's the one dumb thing of Star Trek I can't get behind is the Golden Gate Bridge on a patch. It's just that's where I live, right? So it's not
Right.
like future Star Trek to me. It is,
Yeah.
but it's cool that in the future Starfleet Academy is based in San Francisco. I get
Yeah.
that's cool.
What is the
I just don't want.
Presidio?
It's a
Is it just like an office building or like what is it?
No, it's the whole. You would love it. It's this giant cliff face that overlooks the bay. So
Oh,
when before it was even San Francisco, the U.S. Army came and did this giant garrison. So
that's
it's
awesome.
so they had the missions of the Spanish priests and stuff, and then they had the
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Army stuff. It's their emplacement. So as you know, the world keeps going. San Francisco still has this giant piece of like just you know
Hmm.
like nature in the middle of an urban city.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it's really neat. And now it's the real estate's so valuable that
Mm.
that's where Lucasfilm is now, is in their
Oh,
the Letterman Hospital complex that they had for all of the soldiers at the time. It's just this giant display of buildings. Like George Lucas just went, yeah, can I rent that? I'm gonna put Lucasfilm there, and it has. So that's when we get the Starfleet Academy show, and they keep going. Oh, this is the biggest set ever, and it looks out onto the San Francisco Bay, and it's going to be so great. And it's like, yeah, like anybody who's ever gone, like before the crazy firings when they fired like 150 people at once, I knew a lot of people that worked at Lucasfilm. So if I felt like going there, or one of my friends was visiting, we'd be like, "Hey, can we go have lunch and get the tour?" And like everybody would be like, "Yeah, this is fun, right?" But if you go and have lunch, it looks out on the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like the most
that's cool.
amazing view ever, and that's just their commissary where everybody just catches cheese sandwiches and ketchup for their potato chips, right? In between making some amazing Mission Impossible movie, right? But you look out and it's like, dude, they're all saying, "Oh, this is the best set ever," and all they did was like take some pictures out of the commissary. I guarantee
Mm-hmm.
you, it's just like it's the perfect thing. It's about like 3 stories high, so you're above the ground, so you can look down on the ground. All the other peons they're eating their lunch and having their Starbucks there, and but look, I don't know. I can't. That's the one thing I'm gonna wait for to see that show and go. Give me that big view, and I'll see if you cheated.
I don't, you
Holly
know,
Hunter, you'll love it.
well, that's the thing, right? It could be good. Like it's not by itself going to be bad, but it's probably going to be not good.
They're trying. I don't think from the stuff that I've heard now, I don't see how they're trying to do too much stuff at once. They just announced.
That's what it sounds like.
They
Yeah.
just announced all the kids have access to a fucking starship.
Hmm.
Well, that's great, and I get doing stuff around the solar system.
Yeah.
But what do you need warp capable starships for? You're learning how to be a Starfleet officer. You need to do some studying. This should be
Well,
college.
and
College is fucking boring. Like it's what
well,
you
right,
do
and
after
like
college.
college drama is like my dorm room doesn't like your dorm room, and we think this is the most important thing in our lives. You know, like that should be. Yeah,
Here's the
I,
thing,
I don't know how to explain this.
John. I'll lay it out to you in terms of reality shows.
Yeah.
Here's what it is, right?
Oh boy.
It could be good. Like Voyager could have been great if
Mm,
anything had any consequence. Like when they showed up back in the Alpha Quadrant,
mm,
they should have, Janeway should have had like a peg leg. She should have been
sure.
Ahab. Like fucking, they should have had all kinds of crazy shit. They're not just like, oh wow, that sucked, but hey, everybody, we're
That
back.
was a fun adventure, everyone.
And the same thing for this. If they did what a college experience really should be like, where you have to work with these people, but you have to live with them too,
Yeah.
like on a starship, except you're on land in a place and you're immature and you don't know how to
And you're
deal with it.
18. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking give me that show and just have
Yeah.
it be a mess. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Somebody gets, but they won't do it because and plus it's 1,000 years in the future, so I automatically don't care.
Oh, I hate that part.
Like what?
I hate that
What?
part.
What?
Like, why would you do that, man?
Why
Like,
would you
why?
do that?
Why?
Because they
There's
don't.
a show. I don't remember what it's called. I think Mindy Kaling is like the showrunner or producer or something, and it's about these girls in college, and it's supposed to be
Oh
like
yeah.
a I don't mean this pejoratively, but like a feminist version of like a typical like college show, right? But it sucks so bad. I hate
Okay.
it. I hate the show because first of all of the actors are in their like late 20s.
Okay.
So like they all just look too old, right? And they
Right.
all act too old, right? You're supposed to be like a college freshman and you're like, doing all this like, bullshit. And what is it? It's like
Sex
secret.
Lives of College Girls.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's exactly it. Yes.
I have a Zoomer, and every time that ad show comes on, he just starts cackling hilariously at it. He's
Yeah.
like, "Sex Lives of College Girls, Sex Lives of fucking Golden Girls."
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
like, dude, I think film school is a formality for you at this point.
Nice.
I think you need a $5 million budget, and somebody
Yeah.
needs you to just go do it because
Just
you
go
are
do it
hilarious.
already. That's
But
amazing. Yeah. But that like
we'll put
shows like that, like if they make that show, it's gonna suck ass. Like it's gonna be awful, right? If you make Saved by the Bell the college years, I'm in. Let's
dude,
watch that show.
it's going to be the reboot of 90210
Yeah, it's
because
gonna be bad.
that's what they want.
Because that's who the writers are.
Oh my god, I just got, speaking of Walker Young, this is what's going on at Lowell High
Oh
School
boy.
right now.
Oh
We
boy.
said screw our bridge project and instead built a ping pong set out of foam core and cardboard and even got one of the engineers helping us to play.
Amazing.
So they have this thing where they're studying engineering and they're building like model bridges to see what will work and what doesn't work. And so Walker and his buddies, they figured out how stuff works. So Walker's like, I'm the engineering guy because he does all the 3D modeling and stuff. So he's got a lot of stuff. And but he hates presenting his projects, right? So he picks his two buddies. One guy just loves to talk. So he's the on-air camera presenter, I guess, right? And then another buddy of his does some third thing that they need, right? So and I forget what it is, but it's vital to the system where like the sets of kids just get their buddies, and Walker's like pretty much friends with a lot of different kinds of people. So he strategically goes, I'm weak at this bit, at these two bits, so I need this guy and this guy. And I'll pitch it to him like, you're weak at these two bits, so you need me and this guy, and then that guy needs me and this other guy. And they literally finished the first day on a week-long project. So they have engineering guys helping the teacher because she's doing a specific thing, and he's just fucking around with the engineering guys because they're like,
That's awesome.
they come over and go, oh yeah, you guys know what you're doing. It's pretty funny anyway. So they made a ping pong set.
That's great.
On day 3.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry.
No, that's funny.
It's not Star Trek though.
Well, what is?
Okay, here's Tony's got us some stuff for.
Yeah, ion powered putzing around the solar system. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
I,
why not?
I get what they're trying to do, but like,
No, have them fucking in class. Fucking hire me as a professor. I'll wear a uniform. Put me on the Chris Pratt diet. I'll fucking get in shape. Let's do this.
here's
You
the
know?
thing, right? It's amazing if it's Paper Chase meets West Wing with Star Trek, right?
It's not.
But
It's not. Why
it's
would you say
not
that?
going to
No,
be that. It's just
it's
going
not
to
gonna be
be
that.
fucking, wank, 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 some more of that. And hopefully they'll spend all this money and then it'll go away in a year or two and we can just never think of this again.
And like, what the fuck is she just gonna be like a cameo? Tilly? Is she just gonna be like, hey guys? And then just
Well,
like go out of the episode? Like,
that's what I mean, that they're trying too much, right?
yeah,
Because you have Holly Hunter, you have the dean of the school,
sure.
you have a couple of professors, you have a guy who used to be a professor but is the bad guy now, and then all the young cast who the show is ostensibly about. Like,
Right.
what?
How
No,
big is the
thank you.
cast? Is it a big cast?
I don't know, but you figure there's 5 kids, right?
Yeah,
There
okay.
has to be more than 3, and
Yeah,
6 or 7
probably five. Yeah.
starts to get a lot.
That's what I was gonna
So
say. Yeah.
so you're talking, there's going to be like 10 or 12 people in the show that you have to service for an hour-long episode all the time. Stop. It's just not good. Anyway.
I want to write. I want to write for that show.
My kid every once in a while will walk by and just because he's really focused on it. He wants to go to college already. It
Oh yeah.
can't be August soon enough for him.
He's got
And
he's got senioritis for the last 2 years.
so he'll just walk by and go, "Well, Dad, good thing you raised the guy who's going to save Star Trek," and then just like keep going. Like, dude, if you bust into Hollywood and go, "All right, everybody, I'm here,"
That's amazing.
I will be very happy.
That'd be great.
Fix that show for us.
Just Walker.
Then everybody
Just
can.
remember your internet friends.
I was just gonna say, then all of us will be like, "Hey, fuck that Walker Young showrunner. He doesn't know what he's doing." And I
What
have
the
to
fuck
sit
does
there
this
like,
kid know? He wasn't even born. What the
"Hey,
fuck?
man, it's he's trying his hardest. There's a lot of political stuff he has to navigate." Come on, I'll be like Mike Okuda. Hey, he's trying his best. He's a
He's
good
trying his
kid.
best, guys.
We all have to just get along because he's a good guy. No, your show sucks. Nothing personal. Starfleet Academy meets Paper Chase. You know what? I would probably win a lot of money if we bet that the people doing Star Trek have no idea that there was a show even called The Paper Chase, much less that John Houseman won every Emmy for it every time it was on.
I don't even know what Paper Chase is.
It was a great show.
If I don't know, they definitely don't know. They definitely don't know.
It was I believe it was about law school students. Law school students. And but every episode was, the old guy yelling at them. And then somebody was pregnant and they had to deal with that. That's cool. Okay, I get that. Or then there's another episode, they were like, "Oh, this thing that we were studying just happened to a friend of ours, so we can save him with our high school law student knowledge," whatever. But it was powerful and well written and very earnest and exactly the opposite of what TV is now, So
you want to hear something funny?
High quality.
The first thing that comes up on Google is a sponsored ad for Vistaprint.
Oh, okay. It's a paper chase.
Because it's paper, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway.
Good old Google.
So basically people just me and Tony's age know what it is.
Yeah, apparently.
I might write an article about it. I don't know.
You should.
Did you see the thing that's going on now is the widening scope of the Dork Court empire? Like, you're back, so Dork Trek is great. Me and Steve and Mark and sometimes Walker have Fridays now, and then Randall's doing Tuesdays. So like if we get, I pitched Nancy Sen this. I'm like, anytime you want to just come on and talk about comedy for an hour,
Hell yeah.
And she's just like, "Oh, I'm too busy being a professional comedian." I'm like, "All right." So
The
you
Nancy
can
Sin
have
Comedy
Thursday.
Hour. There you go.
Anyway, I just think maybe 1 week, if we could get a dork court every day, that would be just crazy.
That'd be awesome.
Tens of people would be so happy.
I would be happy.
Anyway, I'm happy you're back, man. I love that you're like, hey, I got to change to the correct jacket. So we'll even maybe we'll do lower decks next week.
I'm running out of jackets.
We
I
have
need
lower...
more jackets.
Oh, right. Gus ate your lower decks jacket, right?
I got a new one.
Oh, you did. All right.
I did. I couldn't abide by just staring at this ripped piece of cloth.
The thing I love so much about the live action appearance of those characters on Strange New Worlds is their collar pips were the exact gold 8mm neodymium magnets that fanboys use.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no, we don't have to do any work for this. We'll get these tomorrow on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so happy about that.
Screen accurate.
Just like us.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that's the one thing I am looking forward to about Strange New Worlds is that, it's a solid C+ to B- show altogether.
Yeah.
And that's better than the ass that we have been getting.
True.
So
True.
I am looking forward to it because every once in a while they'll pop off a great uniform. So when I was thinking today, I took the picture of all the different insignias because I was just feeling sassy. But I was like, you know what? I really like the Strange New Worlds version of the dress uniforms.
Yeah.
That they did in the old days. To the point I bought the awards and stuff from Kirk's dress uniform and put it on the other one. I'm like, that's whatever. That's old school stuff. It looks kind of the same. And then I have this great little medal that's it's a cosmonaut souvenir thing that somebody just gave me back in the day. I'm like, oh, I'll wear that. That's my Soviet medal and
nice
space nest. Anyway,
nice. Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, yeah, the Strange New Worlds is it's never an F.
It's never an F,
right?
I think
whereas Discovery is rarely not an F. So
right. I agree. Discovery is just a whiff all the time, and it's definitely
over.
Yes, it's over.
Discovery's off the air. Oh, thank God. Okay, good.
It did the end of its 5-year thing. They didn't realize they didn't know they were getting canceled. Like, really? I would have written that like I was getting canceled every day.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so then they had to tie it up real fast.
They had to do some reshoots at the end.
I was actually reading some of our old stories about it in my Facebook memories about a week or so ago. There was some Discovery drama, and it just looked like, why every season they tried to address the fanboys' concerns.
Yeah.
And all they did was just make it worse.
They always just made it worse.
Every season. Yeah. And so there's this one thing where they debuted the Babylon 5 uniforms. And you and me and Chris and there's John Shaneman, Brian Shaneman. You can just see us throwing our hands up going,
yeah,
how are you unaware of iconic uniforms in the genre in which you are working?
Right.
It's like, is everybody just wearing, white and black plastic Tupperware suits now with their ray guns? Because, it was just so obvious. It was like, no, it's not the same because our hems don't match. It's like, no, but you had them gray with the black thing, and in Babylon 5 it was gray with leather, so I guess it's different. I mean, huh? And then they come back the next season. It's like, oh, look, it's different. The black thing's still there, but now we have department color codes. No, it just looks like Black Mirror now. Do you know that episode of Black Mirror, the modern day Twilight show? The USS Calistoga or something?
Yeah. Sorry, I can't. I was trying to post a picture and I can't. But
they're doing a sequel to that episode, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's good. That was a really clever episode. I really like that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's cool that I can't think of another anthology show that did a sequel to its own episode. So I think that's kind of cool. What kind of poster are you trying to? I mean, picture were you trying to post?
I'm trying to find a picture of a comparison between Babylon 5 and
Oh, the
the
uniforms.
uniforms. I know I've seen one.
Well, let me see. I'm sorry we're doing quick work like that.
Real-time history.
Huh.
Real-time Star Trek.
Real-time Star Trek. Oh, I need us. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well,
Anyway.
here I have a good picture that I will show you. It's somebody's artwork.
Oh, there's one. All right. Oh, I can't. Is this a view image?
Anyway,
Can I, is this gonna work? Here, click this link.
click what link? Ah, this link. Show this link. Click it.
Does that work? I don't know if that works.
I don't know. Let me see if I can.
But I mean, it's literally like, I mean, is it the
I
exact same thing? Of course not. Right? But is it
Right.
fucking stupidly close? Yes. Yes. It's like how many it's like, and I hate talking about Discovery so much. It's like how many times did we match up? Like, oh, on Orville they made a joke about this, and then in Discovery they made the same exact joke, and fucking morons would be in the comments being like, it's not the same exact joke. Okay,
Right.
they use different pronouns. And I'm
Right.
like, no, no, man. The spirit of the joke is the same thing. You fucking morons. Anyway,
This picture is kind of what
that's a great picture.
It shows
Yeah.
you like how close, because everybody knows what the Discovery one looks like.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that?
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
Fucking morons. Anyway.
Yes. And that's how my friend Sully knocked up Joanne.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, we would use, and it snowed, we would get liquored up and go running out in the street to help people whose cars like went off the road. Right. So we'd have like backpacks full of like,
liquor.
Rope. No. We would just brace ourselves again. Maybe we'd have a couple of bottles of blackberry brandy or something. But we had our tools, man. We were out. We were fixing people. A whole bunch of college students. Let's move your shit out, man. Yeah, no. Merry Christmas. Let's go. And we found a bunch of girls. That was like, oh, would you help us? Like, what? All of this strapping men? Yes, absolutely. And so it was all legendary because my friend Sully, which if you go to school in Boston, you have 7 or 8 friends named Sully.
I was gonna say you got at least. Yeah.
So I'm not really telling anything out of school, but he meets this girl named Joanne, and they go off, and he gets her pregnant, and they have the baby, and they've been married for 30 years.
That's awesome.
So you never know. So whenever I get to a conversational and Eddie, I always go, and that's how my friend Sully knocked up Joanne, because there's like 15 people who tell that story because we were there. not during the actual pregnancy thing, but we were there how they met. So we feel like we were all kind of,
to each their own, That's great, man. I'm glad. I like happy endings.
And they didn't have twins.
That's definitely a happy ending,
All right. On that note, wait. I think Martha Quinn of MTV is thinking about booking me to strum tunes at one of her pool parties. Well, congratulations, Tim. I hope that happens. Martha Quinn is legendary just because of her fight with Mojo Nixon in our house.
Get that money.
Anyway,
that's what I say.
Get
that money.
I know Tony knows all about Mojo Nixon. Martha Quinn.
I don't know Mojo Nixon.
You know what? If you were 20 years older, you would be a giant fan of Mojo Nixon.
Oh yeah.
In the mid 80s, the frat boys across America discovered him, and he was just this guy that sort of did kind of novelty songs, really, in bars. Not really. It's just he was just crazy. So he'd be like, "I've been drinking with you, Jesus." He'd just do funny songs like that,
nice.
And he got national attention when two things happened right on top of each other. Martha Quinn said that they would never play any of his videos on MTV because he was too nasty. Mojo, you're too nasty. You're always talking about masturbation and fornication. You're not going to get on MTV that way. That's the beginning of a song. Stuffing Martha's muffin. And so everybody was like, okay, there's that. And then the 1986 like American luge team or something like just adopted him. They would work out to every song he ever did. And so he did a cool song just for them. And then they released that nationally. But that's where a wop bop a doo wop a lop bam boom, we and the boys that walked on the moon. That's the part of his Olympics song.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, Mojo Nixon. Elvis is everywhere. Nixon.
I'll go check him out.
Oh, dude. He when Napster started being a big thing and Metallica is like, you can't steal our songs. He released every single thing that he did because he's not an asshole like Metallica.
Yeah, fuck Metallica, man.
There was this, I don't know if you know my buddy Anthony Taylor, but he's pretty big shot in the sci-fi genre thing. And he and I both share this. The day that happened, he was my only friend that I knew, Mojo Nixon. I was like, Anthony, holy shit! Like his entire catalog is for free. I don't know how long this is going to take. And I spent 18 hours just downloading everything.
That's awesome.
Mojo gave it to us. So that was a very good day in our lives. Yes, that is literally the title of one of his songs.
That's awesome.
But it's, anyway. Mojo.
Good old Mojo.
Anyway. So it sounds like I pulled out the like Sully's knocked up Joanne. So why don't we say, but you're coming back next Wednesday, right? At noon, assuming nothing, crazy happens.
I think so.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to spend all weekend coming up with cool Star Trek stuff that we can talk about.
We can just talk about Star Trek,
One day we're going to do either the top 100 episodes or the top captains.
Top captains?
I know you're very big on Janeway.
Well, there's a clear number one.
Yeah, I think that the top captain is a 4-way tie.
No, 4-way tie.
No, that's my headline. So the people pay attention. Of course, it's Captain Kirk.
That's the teaser. That's the
right. That's the you won't believe number 3. Anyway,
it's Captain Kirk.
All right, should we call
1 through 5 is just Kirk.
Yeah, Captain Kirk, Captain James T. Kirk, Captain James motherfucking Kirk.
Number 5 is like Chris Pine Kirk, and number 4 is like the animated series Kirk, and number 3 is mirror universe Kirk and
animated Kirk. That would be awesome. That's a different captain. I love it. Anyway,
multiverse.
Great topic for next time.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Starfleet Academy. Wood.
Well, end stream. Go room. Did I end it? I think I ended it.